Starting right off, let's talk a little bit about your background. I know you have Bria Beauty Cosmetics and skincare
Yeah.
line. You're a fashionista. You live in Germany. But what else would you like to share with our viewers?
I would also like to share, I grew up in upstate New York. I grew up with a family who worked in the business for many years. My mom works in the film industry. My dad, he was a cop. My brother and sister, also models and actors. And, growing up, this has always been, a part of my life, and this is who I am. So I do want the viewers to know that this is authentic. I've come from a family of this, and yeah.
By this, what do you mean? Do you mean vacationing in Martha's Vineyard, just the
Yeah.
luxury, the opulence, or
So I would say the luxury lifestyle, traveling a lot around the world, because people ask like, how is she able to travel? How is she able to like have nice things? And like, I do it on a budget, it's an efficient way. I do go thrifting with my clothing. A lot of my clothes are thrifted. I do get great deals with traveling. As far as Martha's Vineyard, it is my first time on the vineyard, but I was a Hamptons girl. I lived in Sag Harbor for 2 years as well. So people always they like, from the outside looking in, they're like, how does she have this extravagant lifestyle? How is she able to travel and have a beauty line and a fashion line? And where did she learn this work ethic from? And a part of it is from growing up, in the family that I came from, and also learning through friends and family, and also my boyfriend as well.
opulence was a birthright for you? I love that. So you and Jasmine are authentically friends. It's not put together for the show. You guys work together at the Playboy Club in New York. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Jasmine, Shanice, and Jordan and I have all known each other since 2017, 2018. We worked together at the Playboy Club. It was a great experience, a long casting process. And, we were they called us the Black Bunnies, we stand it out from a lot of other girls. We have Latinos, white girls, Asian girls, but like the Black Bunnies stick together no matter what, because we were all that we had. And we did grow a close bond, even though it doesn't seem like that, but we did grow a very close bond the time that we worked together. And I would say it was a great experience. Like, it was like a Soho house with like waitresses that were bunnies. And, we had like the cigar lounge, we had the speakeasy downstairs. So it was a whole nother world. And we were all very young. Like, at the time I was 23, 24, I'm 27 now. And maybe 22 when I started the casting process. And we are all crazy and like excited. And this is a new experience. We're part of a big legacy. So I am different than what they know now, because I was a little bit like the crazy wild one. I was very young, 23, 22. I'm a Playboy bunny. Why not? I'm going to meet people. We met politicians, athletes, very important people. And, just, it was a great experience. So from then till now, it's completely different. Like, I'm a different person. And I think they're still thinking I'm the old Bria versus new Bria.
Understand that. We all
Yeah.
grow and change. So let's talk about Martha's Vineyard for a bit. Me personally, I heard about Martha's Vineyard through a film like that came out so long ago in the 90s with Lorenz Tate and Jada Pinkett Smith called The Inkwell. That was my
Yeah.
first introduction, that there was an area specifically that Black people had inhabited for generations and
Mhm.
spent summers there. So what was your introduction to it?
So my introduction was, for me, I used to work at a vineyard in the Hamptons. I used to work for Wolfer Estate. And a lot of people would come in and they were like, have you been to Martha's Vineyard? And I'm like, no. And they're like, you should go. And for me, I didn't know. I thought it was just another vineyard, but I didn't know it was just not a vineyard at all. And it was a lot Black history there. And when I spoke with Shanice and Jordan, and they had went with Jasmine one year, and I was in Europe and I couldn't attend, they were explaining more in depth with me, like, there's a lot of Black history. We have the African American Trail, we have Inkwell Beach for African Americans, and there's a lot of history here. And I'm like, what? Well, I'm like, is there a vineyard? And like, no, like, you have to go. It's where the Black elites go and they vacation there. And my mom recently educated me on it, because she's in the film industry. She's a producer and director, and she's like, they hold the African American Film Festival there. And I'm like, really? So that's kind of how I really got introduced, through the festival and also through my friends. And when I went, I was just like, wow. And we got to, learn a lot about the history being there. But I'm just like, I think it's way better than the Hamptons. I felt at home. The food there, a lot of soul food, and just the culture. I'm like, wow, like I feel like I'm in the South. I felt like I was literally in Georgia somewhere, different. And yeah, that was my introduction, just going there. And the first thing I did was I went to the soul food restaurant. I had macaroni and cheese and collard greens. I'm like, I need it right now. So yeah.
So tell me about your decision to step into reality TV and to join this cast. How did it happen? Were
Mhm.
you at all hesitant about it? How did that process work?
So first, I believe Jasmine and Jordan were the ones who got the approach, and they're very, very close friends. And Shanice is also close with them, but I'm closer to Shanice than I was with Jasmine and Jordan. Even though we worked together, we're all great friends, but I ended up being more closer with Shanice. So I believe the idea was pitched to them, and then you know how you just see the pictures down the line. Well, like, who's that girl? Who's that girl? So then Shanice was like, "Yo, I have this opportunity. Would you want to join and come out to Marcus Vineyard to do a reality show?" And I was like, well, what kind of reality show? And then they're like, it's a non-scripted. You are yourself. You can, your everyday life, show up how you are, you can dress how you want, make up how you want. I'm like, okay, this is my dream show. I always wanted to have my own reality show, just showing my life and who I am, Bria Fleming. So I was like, okay, like I'm going to hop on it. And that's what I did. And next thing you know, it's time to film and be there. And for me, it was just a great experience. It was a dream come true, because I always wanted to do something like this, and I always waited for the right time. You get these different casting directors that reach out to you for love shows or The Bachelor or something. And I'm like, no, 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 I'm waiting for the right one. So it just felt right. It was natural, and it was with people that I've known for years, and I felt comfortable going in with versus going in with strangers that I didn't know.
Did you discuss the opportunity with your mother, since she is in entertainment, has that producer's experience, so she knows kind of the behind the scenes and how these things work? Did she have an
Of
opinion?
course. I've discussed it with her and my father, and they both love it. For me, they always want the best for me. They want me to shoot for the stars, and like regardless if they say yes or no, I'm still gonna do it. I'm a Gemini. I'm like all over the place. I'm like, no, I'm gonna make up my own decisions. Even if they say, hey, Bria, this might be the outcome, I'm like, well, I want to experience that outcome for myself. But they were 100% on board, and they're all about Black excellence and strong Black powerful people and Black power. So they were like, oh yeah, this is for you. And my mom was just 100% on board. She loved it. She's just like, I can't wait to see it. And girl, I hope you did well. So
So
yeah.
let's talk about some of your first impressions when you got to the house. You
Okay.
obviously have your established friend group that you know, and you kind of know what to expect, at least on the outset. But what about the people that you didn't know? What was sort of your impression first meeting them?
So first meeting them, I was very impressed. I was like, wow, these are some great looking Black men, like very well fit, put together, charming, pretty teeth, pretty smile, pretty skin. Like I've never been in an environment with that. It was a lot. It was just like, whoa, but I have a man. So I'm just like, whoa, but they're great looking men. And very sweet and respectful. So my first I would say the judgment zone. I didn't expect anyone to be, I expected them to look how they looked on social media. We talked a couple of times, but I don't have I don't hold expectations for people, because I don't want them to let me down. So I just kind of just go with the flow. And when they came in and they were just everyone was so sweet. The guys, and then I didn't know Mariah, because that's Jasmine's friend. And she was sweet and respectful as well. And it was great to just be like, okay, I feel comfortable. I felt comfortable with everybody. Everybody made me feel loved and respected, and we had a great time. We took shots right away. So I did feel very comfortable meeting everybody at first.
At first.
Yeah, at first.
With no spoilers, who would you say is the troublemaker for the season?
The troublemaker, I would have to say
Yeah.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
I have to say Jasmine.
Okay.
For me, I would say that like she could have just lived more and not take things too personal or get upset about things. We're on vacation. So it's like for me, like I said, I live a different life. I live a free life. Like if we're here in this extravagant home, which I didn't expect to be this grand and beautiful, you were supposed to enjoy and drink and have fun, not, bicker about things that are just irrelevant, for me. So yeah,
And who was the voice of reason?
Jordan.
Jordan. Okay.
Yes, she is so grounded, so beautiful, so powerful, so smart. And I love her because I don't want to give any spoilers, but she had my back the whole time. And, being put in a situation with, friends that are close to you, really close friends, and a friend that you're trying to reconnect with, but, we always stayed friends. It's like to have my back and be there. I love her for that. Deeply.
Amazing.
She
So,
rides for me. I ride for her.
okay, we love that. Sisters ride
Yes.
for each other. So who do you think is the biggest flirt?
Amir, Mr. Amir is the biggest flirt. He's a ladies' man, very outgoing, very fit, amazing cook. He's charming. When you meet him, he's very like, hi, nice to meet you, like wooing you. So Amir is, but very respectful. And you'll see that as well. But Amir.
So you mentioned your boyfriend, and without anything that, would spoil anything, what
Yes.
were his initial thoughts when you told him you would be going on this show and sharing some of your life?
He was so 100% for it. He was like, this is a great opportunity for you. He knows I always wanted this. And it's great to be in a relationship with a man who is so confident and grounded and he just wants the best for me. So when I pitched him this experience and like, because when I moved to Germany, I was still in a process of like, we didn't know when we were going to shoot and stuff like that. So I said, hey, I might have to leave Germany to go shoot this show. You may be able to come with me or not. I don't know, but this is my work and this is what I do for a living. And in past relationships, most of the guys would be like, oh, hell no, you're not going in a house with a group of men and women. Like, but with him, he was like, oh, this is great. Like, this is what you wanted. This is your lifestyle. Showcase it, go all out. So he supported me 100%. And I love that. It gave me even more confidence and I just felt love and I love being supported in my relationship. So he was beyond happy. He was getting even more excited than I was. And I'm like, wait, chill. Let's just wait until it happens. Cause I like to just wait until things unfold and then go for it. But he was just getting even way, way excited than I was. I was like, I don't know what to expect. Like, I'm going to miss you. And he's just like, who cares? Like, you're going to be in a nice house and, eating great food and you're on vacation. So he 100% supported me.
So how did you deal with the thoughts because you are away from him for a certain time period? Is that normal in your relationship that, because of work, it takes you guys away from each other at various points? Or was this sort of something new with spending time apart like that?
This was the first time we have been apart for so long since I met him. So when I met him in Cannes, we started dating right away. It just happened, the connection. And I ended up moving to Germany because I was working remotely from home. So I was able to find like a sublease in New York City. And I'm like, since I'm working from home on my laptop, I can work from anywhere around the world. And I was only supposed to go to Germany for 2 weeks. I ended up staying. I was going to be 12 months in May. And basically, yeah, no, it was scary because, being with someone and it's so fresh and we're in a honeymoon stage and to leave them for that amount of time and not sure if he would be able to come and visit me. I was a little sad. I was like, wow, like I have grown such a close bond with this person. He's my best friend. He's my supporter. And I did get sad because he does have my back. And, I'm like, what am I going to do if I get into a situation? He's not here to help me. But I was a little upset to leave him for the period of time that I left him, but he ended up coming. So yeah.
So again, no spoilers, but what was the best thing about this experience?
I would say the best thing about this experience would be learning the history of Oak Bluffs. I love to travel, and I love to travel to learn culture, to learn different experience, to learn history. And I don't travel to places where there's no history or no substance for me. So to go to a place that's very historical and to know what I know now, I'm like, wow, like I am leaving with a lot of knowledge and a lot of Black history knowledge as a Black woman, because I didn't know. Like I had, women of all different races coming up to me like, have you heard of Martha's Vineyard? Have you been? And I'm like, didn't know anything about it. So coming out of that, knowing the history and learning, oh yeah, I'm going back every summer. So it was just a learning process for me, just alone from being with the friends, just learning the history of the island and how important that island is to Black culture.
So you said you're going back every summer. Would you go
Yes.
back for a summer house every summer and be a
Of
part?
course, I will go back for summer house every summer. Like I stated before, we all have our differences, and it was very challenging being in a house full of 12 guests, friends, non-friends, and I love a challenge, and I love getting to know everybody. And it was kind of, I feel like me, I don't know, I play a lot of mind games. For me, it's like a game, breaking down barriers of different people and getting to know them. So I was like, okay, yeah, I beat that level of that person. I beat that level of learning that person. So knowing everybody's daily lifestyle and food diets and what they do and how they wake up in their routine and adjusting to it, it's fascinating. It's like an experiment for me. So I would definitely do it again with the same people, and hopefully there'll be more fun times than bad times.
So what was the most surprising challenge about this?
The most surprising challenge was I would say the most surprising, that's a hard question. The most surprising challenge of it was just adjusting to the different personalities. It was very hard. Like, I mean, you have people that don't drink, you have people that are vegans, you have people that are introverts, you have me, I'm a major extrovert. I'm also a dog friendly person because I brought my dog with me. So
Shout out to Milo. I had a short-haired dachshund growing up named Cricket.
yes, the sweetest. So I think the hardest was just adjusting to different character. I call them characters or personalities. Let me not say characters. Personalities was the hardest. Like you're dealing with older people, younger people, and people that are married, people that are not married, people that are single that want to mingle. So it's just the adjustment was a lot. It was a lot.
So for fans that are just going to be getting introduced to yourself and the rest of the cast, what would you tell them to look forward to this season?
I would say look forward to, we're not boring. We are very glamorous. You're getting it all. You're going to be left with wanting more. Just look forward to the growth, the luxury, the experiences that we have. What else? The history, learning the Black history of Martha's Vineyard. Look forward to that because that's a big history. People live there or people know about it, but they don't really know the history about it. They're like, oh yeah, I've heard of Martha's Vineyard. Okay, well, do you know the history of Oak Bluffs? Do you know like it was a part of the Underground Railroad? Do you know a lot? So I would say the major key point is just the history. Learn the history of it, and then understand why we're there and why we are an all Black cast and why we were placed there.